Hey guys, welcome to Homework Help for Year 6, Week 3. On page 20, set 11, we're doing the, simplify by multiplying the numerator and multiplying the denominator. Okay, so I'm just going to do, again, the last columns. So I'm just going to do, for example, these ones here. And the rest you can do by yourself. These are not too many questions, they're pretty simple. Alright, so what we want to do is look at question D here. We want to multiply these two fractions and they have letters in them. So when we multiply a fraction, let's say I have 2 over 3 times it by 3 over, I don't know, let's say 5. When we multiply a fraction, we just multiply them across. Okay, so this will be 2 times 3 is 6 and 3 times 5 is 15. But at the same time, 2 over 3, let me just write that properly. Alright, 2 over 3 times it by 3 over 5. At the same time, you can simplify this expression. When you multiply, you can look at the top and bottom and say, okay, let's look at 2 and 3. Can we simplify this? No. How about 3 and 5? Can I simplify that? Nope. How about 2? Whoops. How about 2 and 5? Can I simplify that? Nope. But I can simplify 3 and 3. I can divide them both by 3. Okay, so I can just divide this by 3, get 1. Divide this by 3, get 1. So the answer is 2 times 1, which is 2. And 1 times 5, which is 5. The answer is 2/5. And you're thinking, oh, wait a minute. I thought the answer was 6 over 15. Well, that's the same thing. 6 over 15, we can simplify this. We can divide this by 3 and we get 2. We can divide this by 3 and you get 5. So this is still the same answer. Okay. There you go. So the best way to do it is this way. Simplify as you do the question. Don't get the answer and then simplify, because that sometimes takes really long. Alright, so let's look at this. Can we simplify anything here? No. So just multiply it across. Nothing can be simplified, so you just multiply it right across. So this will be 12 over C times D is just CD. Alright. Next one. Can we simplify anything here? Oh, I got an A and an A. Can I simplify like this? No, you can't. Remember, when you multiply, you can only simplify one from the top, one from the bottom. So A can only simplify with either B or C, but since they're not the same values, we can't. So in this case, we just multiply it right across. A times A is just A squared, and B times C is just BC. Alright, next one. Question 2. Simplify each of these by taking the reciprocal of the second fraction, then multiplying. Okay, so we're doing division now, and when we do division of fractions, remember that we have to flip this one. We have to flip it upside down. And then we turn this one into a multiply. Change to times. Okay, so we're going to have 6u times 7 over v. Now we just change the division into a multiplication, and then we just do what we did up here. Okay. At the moment, nothing can be simplified, so we just 6 times 7, which is 42, over. Let me just change the color. This will be 42 over u times v is just uv. Alright. Question H. Again, we have to flip. So this will be r over s. The first one stays the same. The second one, it becomes t over s. And then we put it times. Now, don't try and simplify this. Say, oh, there's an s and s. I'm going to cross it out. No, you can't do that. Okay, because when you flip it, remember, the simplifying only works with the multiply. We do one from the top, one from the bottom. But that happens when we're multiplying, not when we're dividing or adding or minusing, only multiplying. So let's have a look here. So can we simplify anything? How about the bottom ones? Can we simplify this? Nope. They're both from the bottom. Remember, when we simplify, it must be one from the top, one from the bottom. So in this case, since we can't simplify anything, we just multiply it across. You get r times t, which is rt, over s times s, which is s squared. All right, so those ones we can't simplify, but look at question 3. Cancel any common factors, then multiply. Okay, so I'm going to do this one here. Let's look at this one. Can we simplify anything? Yes, we can. We got m and n. We can divide them both by m. We get 1 and 1. And then look at the 6 and the 9. I can divide this by 3, both of them. So divide by 6 by 3, you get 2. Divide 9 by 3, you get 3. So when we multiply these together, you get 2 times 1, which is 2. And 1 times 3, which is 3. There you go. That's the most simple form. Okay, let's go to question H. Okay, let's look at the numbers first. So I'm just going to focus on the numbers. Okay. So 4 and 3 I can't simplify. 4 and 8 I can simplify. So we can do 4 and 8. I can divide this by 4, I get 1. I can divide this by 4, I get 2. How about the 3 and 15? I can divide this by 3, I get 1. I can divide this by 3, I get 5. Okay. Now let's see. Let's look at the letters. I can divide this by E. I can divide this by E, and they're both gone. And then that's all I can do. So the answer is 1 times 5, which is 5, over 1. Actually, this is okay. C times 2, which is 2C. There's your answer there. Simplified. All right. Question 4, simplify each of these. So let's another division question. All right. Let's start with the first one being 12 over W. That one there. Now we got to flip, because we're dividing, we got to flip the second fraction, which will be W over 15. And we change it to a times. Now this time we can simplify. Now we're doing multiplication, so we can simplify. Alright, we can divide the top and bottom by W, so that we could gone. We can divide this by 3, we get a 4. We can divide this by 3, we get a 5. So the answer is 4. Well, there's only 4 at the top, so the answer is 4, and only a 5 at the bottom, which is 5. There's the answer, 4 over 5. Let's go to the next page. Okay, question 5 says simplify. So let's see. I'm going to start with, let me see, there's not many questions here. So maybe I'll do one division and one multiplication. So maybe I'll do question E and F, because they look pretty hard. Now, question E. Let me, the first thing I'm going to do is put it into a actually no, it's already a fraction. First thing I'm going to do is, because this one is division, we have to flip this one upside down. Okay, so let's keep the first one the same, 40A over 77B, and this will be 35B squared over 36A squared, and we change it into a times. Now let's look at the numbers and see if we can simplify anything. Now 44 and 70 is not going to help us anything. Okay, but 40 and 36, we can do something about them. So we can divide them both by 4. So this one divided by 4, you get a 10. Divide this by 4, I get a 9. Now 77 and 35, I can divide this by 7, I get 11. And divide this by 7, I get a 5. And now we can divide this by A, we get 1. Divide this by A, you get A. Okay. Divide this by B, you get 1. Divide this by B, you get B. So, what do we have all together? Now we have to multiply this. I'm going to do this in green. So we got to do 10 times 5 times by B. So the answer is going to equal to 10, nope, it's equal to 50B. Or actually, let me just write it in Maybe this way is easier. Alright, 10 times 5 times b over the bottom one, which is 11 times 9 times a. That's what we have left. So the answer is going to be 50b over 99a, and there's your answer there. Alright, next let's look at question F. We're doing a multiplication, so this is a bit simpler. Don't have to flip or change anything. Now the first one, I'm going to put c squared d over 48EF times 28FG over CD squared. I'm just rewriting this so you can see it a bit clearer when I start simplifying. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is look at the numbers. Okay, so we got 28 and 48. What can these two be divided by? They can be divided by 2 or 4. And I think that's about it. Yeah, so 4. So I'm going to choose 4 because it's the highest common factor. So I'm divided by 4, I'm going to get 7. Divided by 4, I get 12. Okay, now let's look at the letters. You got, at the top here, you got c squared and you got c. I can divide them both by c. So if I divide the bottom by c, I get just 1. Divide top by c, I get just c. What else we got? We can divide top and bottom by f. They're both gone. And that is about it. Oh wait, no, the d. We can divide the top by d, you get 1. And the bottom we divided by d, you get d. Alright, now let's multiply it in. So you got c times 7 times g. And the bottom is 12 times e times d. Alright, so that answer is equal to, all of that is equal to c times 7 times g all over 12 times e times d. And the answer is 7cg over 12 ed. And there's your answer. Okay. Question 6. Alright, so for question 6, I'll do both of them. Now, question 6 says, alright, 5a. Alright, so what we'll do is we just like in BODMAS, right? You have to do the left hand side first and then do the right hand side. So do step by step. So let's start with the first part. 5a over 27b times 9d over 10a. Alright, let's do that first. So let's go to the simplify. Alright, I can divide top by 5 and I get, let's look at the numbers, right? So we got 5 and 10. I'm going to do 5 and 10. So divide top by 5, which is 1. Divide bottom, the 10 by 5, you get 2. Now for the 9 and 27, I can divide them both by 3. This will be 9 divided by 3 is 3. 27 divided by 3 is, actually I can divide them by 9. Maybe even better. Divide this by 9, you get 1. Divide this by 9, you get 3. There you go. Now let's look at the letters. You got A, and A can go. And that's about it. Alright. So, what's going to happen is you're going to do, you just have a D at the top. And the bottom one is 3 times B. So this D, and then, alright. So D over 3B. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to divide it by this one. So we're going to flip this one upside down. So we're going to say, okay. So D over 3B. We're going to flip this one. So we're going to get 16B over 4C. And we're going to change a division into a times. Alright. So let's see what we get. Now let's look at the look at this one here. Let's look at the numbers. Can I do anything about 16 and 3? No. But I can do something about the 16 and 4. As long as it's one from the top, one from the bottom, we can simplify this. So we can divide them both by 4. We get 1 here, we get 4 here. Let's look at the letters. We got B and B will cancel out. And what do we have left? Well, we got 4 times D and 3 times C. So we got 4 times... Actually, let me rewrite this again. D times 4, and the bottom was 3 times C, and the answer is 4D over 3C. There's your answer for that one. So let me just draw a little border. And for the last question, question H. Again, we do step by step. We do this one first. So what we're going to do is we're going to say this is 8. Actually, you know, you can do all of it together if you're good enough. If you actually understand that, you can do it all together. So I'll show you how to do this all together. So we can say 8e over 35. We can flip this and we're going to get 7f squared over 24g. Alright, so this becomes a times, and then after that we times it by the last one, which we're going to put in here. Times it by 55g over 14e. So if you think you're up to the task, you can try doing all at once. Okay, so let's look at because they're all multiplying, we can simplify. One from the top, one from the bottom. So what can I simplify? I can look at 8 and 24. Okay, and I can simplify this. I can say I divide them both by 8. So this will be 1. This will be 3. What else we got? We got 7 and 35. I can cross this one out. I can divide it by 7. I get 1. Divided by 7, I get 5. All right. What else? I got oh, I've got the 5 and 55. I can simplify that as well. Okay, so I can divide them both by 5. I will get 1 and I will get 11. What else I got? I've got both G's can cancel out. Both E's can cancel out. And I think that's about it. So, what do we have left? Well, we got f squared is left. We got 11. And we got, so f squared times 11 and 3 times 14. So the answer is going to be actually, let me put that in green. Yes, that's all there is there. So now the answer is going to be 11f squared, and then 3 times 14 will be 42. There's your answer there. Okay. So if you think you can just try and go for the whole thing altogether. But I don't know. It tends to be more prone to errors, to make mistakes if you do it this way. Unless you're used to it, then you can do it this way. Otherwise, you can just use the step-by-step method. Okay. All right. Hope that helps.